Okay, for today's assignment, we were asked to do the right section and then to do practice number 1 and practice 2. So let's go ahead and do right here. Complete each sentence with the appropriate vocabulary term. Okay, so a blank can be used to organize and display the values of two variables in a data set. That is called a data table. Blank models the relationship between two variables in a data set by producing a line of best fit. That's called linear regression. A blank is a line that best approximates the linear relationship between two variables in this data set. That's the line of best fit. Number 4. The blank is used to approximate line of best fit by minimizing the squares, there's kind of your key word there, of the distances of the points from the line. Least squares method. Blank is using a linear regression line to make predictions within the data set. That's interpolation. And then using a linear regression line to make predictions outside of it, it's called extrapolation. And then using a scatter plot is created. The blank is a point with the x value. That is the mean of all those. All right, that's called the centroid. Practice 1, okay? This is where we need to use our graphing calculator. So if you don't have your graphing calculator out, let's go ahead and then type in our columns here. Now, instead of typing in year 2002, this is what we're going to do. Instead of 2002, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 13 there. That's going to be our L1 on our calculator, and L2. That's your L1 is your X's, that's your domain, that's your independent variable, those are the inputs. L2 is going to be on your calculator. That's representing your Y's, your output, your range, your dependent variable, your all those, okay? So let's do letter A, create a scatter plot. Okay, so let me switch over my screen here. So to get to your scatter plot, first we need to do is input the data into our calculator. Stat, edit. Now I've got stuff in my calculator. If you're using a handheld, go up to L2, clear it out. Go up to L1, clear it out. If you're just using your Chromebook, then it should not be there when you close down that program each time. Okay, we need to type in 1 through 13. So I'm going to type that in for L1. So give me a second to fix my screen here. So L1 is in there. Now L2, I'm going to go in and then put in the second column, which starts off with 3.5. I've typed in all those. Always do a quick check to make sure we have typed them in correctly. It's easy to make a mistake, and I believe we are good to go. All right, to do the plot, all right, for part A, create a scatter plot. Okay, we hit second, kind of get this better. Second, y equals to activate the stat plot because we're in stats. Now make sure plot 1 is on. Yours probably is defaulted to being off. So to make sure it's on, we go to enter, change that to on, so making sure it's flashing, and hit enter again. It is now on. Hit graph. Now when I hit graph, oops, this should not be there. When I hit graph, I should be expecting points to show up, but it is not. Now, my window is not in the range. Yours may not be either, but you kind of see the points right here. So anytime I graph a new thing with stat plot, I always hit zoom, option number 9, zoom stat. That's going to take your window and reconfigure it so it fits nicely with the stat button that you've input the data table into. So there is my stat plot. Now based off of that, part A says create a scatter plot of the high school dropout data. What information can you gather about the dropout rates from the scatter plot? The graph has several spikes in the data, which makes it difficult to make the predictions about the future dropout rates. However, the rate appears to be somewhat increasing over time. So that's what they're saying, and looks like it's kind of increasing over time here, especially over the last few values. Now, what we're going to go ahead and do then is, on part B, is use the data table and technology to generate the line of best fit. So let's go ahead and try to find a line that's going to represent that. So we hit stat, calculate, and we always choose option 4 since it's going to be a linear regression. These should always be defaulted to L1, L2. Those are always blank. And go ahead and click run. Okay. Crap. There is my slope, my rate of change. There is my y-intercept, 3.62. So that is going to be my line of best fit. I will pause it here to write that down, as my bell is also going to ring then. Okay. So on my notes, B, okay, it's going to be f of x, the same thing as y, 0.03x plus 3.6. I'm going to pause it there, and I'll continue with